Let's go.
On that note,
let's go.
We are back, baby.
Episode 40.
Episode 40. Wow.
Yeah.
40.
40.
How's everybody feeling? Health check? Everybody's feeling good?
Yeah.
Nice and healthy. Still working out.
Yep.
I haven't been working out. I'll just get that out the way.
For those that don't know, jogging on pavement is a lot different than jogging on a treadmill.
Oh.
It's terrible. It's terrible for
running
you,
on
actually.
pavement is...
No, I know it's bad for your joints, but still, the workout is more intense.
No,
oh, yeah.
It's top 5 things I hate ever.
Yeah.
I just can't...
Jogging or
outside.
jogging on pavement?
Running.
Any activity on pavement.
Yeah.
Any activity, like playing hoops on the outdoor courts.
It's funny. You don't think about that when you're a kid because you just want to play.
You just want to play.
Yeah. Right.
You don't care where, when.
Those that don't know, Joe actually had a really bad accident growing up on pavement.
Yeah, I broke my arm playing basketball on the outside courts at Branford Park.
Did you still play outside after that ever?
Because
that would fuck with me. Of course, I want to hear the story.
But I felt like I had to just to like make sure there was no fear there.
Or PTSD.
Yeah. But funny thing is, so it took me a year worth of 5 surgeries, and a year later, I got the plate out of my arm and all that. And funny thing is, summer rolls around again. We're outside basketball. You know, Branford in the summertime was lit out there in the outdoor courts. And my parents pull up, and mom's yelling at me while I'm playing, like, Joe, get off that. I'm like, come on, mom. Like, come on, man. And I was like 16, 17 at that time.
You got no fear when you're that young.
So, but you know, mom's yelling at me in front of all these dudes. Some know me, some don't. So some know the story, some don't.
Yeah.
And you know, it's kind of embarrassing, but she's like, I'm like, I got this. You know, I'm the one that has to deal with this. Like, yeah, but I got to deal with your attitude and the bills and all that. All
right.
You got me. I'm going to come home.
Right, you're right.
I have to wait for the gym to open up.
Yeah.
But cool. Good, everybody.
Yeah.
Healthy.
Shout out to those that are really getting it in. I ran around my block and I seen this guy's whole garage is a full-on workout situation. I'm like, God damn, good for you.
Yeah.
No excuses. Stay
active. I'm seeing a lot less challenges, but everybody's still being quite active.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm feeling good.
Mickey got a haircut. Or rest of us are still. Have you had a haircut?
Hell no, man. I'm dying right now.
I'm looking like
bro.
Wolverine. Logan over here.
Looking like a homeless man.
Mickey did his own haircut. Clipped himself. Look, pretty good job.
To be honest,
you're a brave soul.
See it in person. So many people were like, yo, because I only took a picture, but everybody's like, all right, let's see the other angles. And I'm like, I think it's fine. Let's not look for any lineups or anything like that. Nobody's trying to play the mirror against the mirror with the angles. But luckily, you know, I had a lot of Filipino friends growing up. And if you know Filipinos, they're really good scratch DJs. Most of them have at some point been in a dance group.
They're just good with their hands.
They've definitely cut their own hair.
Most of them are bald.
And I think most of them grew up playing the piano. Now, so I think that has a lot.
They're
to do
artistic.
with it.
Shout out to all the Filipinos, man. They helped groom myself, and pun intended there. Yeah. But got a nice little cut. How you can we
nice?
Can we get an under hat check?
Nice. You gonna give him?
He got waves.
Flowers?
You know what I feel like? That little Hispanic kid in elementary school that hasn't had a haircut in 2 months.
They're definitely a little more chia pet textured, but I definitely know. I know what you're talking about though.
And less gray.
Right before I went to college, I told Abner, I said, "Yo, can you show me like how to cut my hair because like how I can do it myself because I don't know. I don't know who I'm gonna meet or whatever.
Yeah.
No one can do it like you because Abner Spiffy used to cut my hair. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, with 0 clip on the side, so I start. After the first stroke, nope, give me that. Nope. Go find a barber. Go to Fantastic Sam's.
Oh, that's worse.
Go to Supercuts. You ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna.
Have you
let
ever got
go
a cut at Supercuts
or Floyd's?
I used to see a barber. Yes. Supercuts. I think when I was a kid, growing, you know, once a month you get that haircut.
Yeah. I definitely felt like I had the least amount of swag when I got a haircut at Supercuts.
Damn,
like I would never resort to that ever again.
When was your first time you experienced an actual barber, like legit, dope, cool barber or barbershop? Your first barbershop experience.
Supercuts is in barbershop?
No.
Let's continue on with the question. your first real experience with a barber that you were like, I'm comfortable with, you know.
Well,
what you cut.
I mean, it ain't exactly a barber situation, but Lico.
No, that's a barber situation.
Yeah,
He's
that is a
never on
barber
But
time.
full on official.
When did Lico start cutting your hair?
When he was in the 10th grade, like 2007.
We've known
But
Lico
like
for
a
a
full on experience last year when I was in the Philippines. Like a massage. I got a massage.
Yeah.
I got like the whole the hot
towel
on the face and on the neck and like the full on experience. It was like a $50+ experience for $8 because in the Philippines everything's dirt cheap out there.
Yeah.
So that was like the full on experience.
Shit, some barbers are charging $50 just to cut you.
Yeah. Out here in LA, yeah, for sure. Well, I guess anywhere, but
hat check.
Oh yeah, my shit is fucked up, bro.
Oh man, you look like
I'm about to start looking like Jay-Z out this bitch, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Jay-Z.
Get my Jay-Z
A month later,
on.
you look like The Weeknd.
Exactly. I'm about to look like Cam Newton. Y'all seen that nigga's hair? Oh Lord Jesus.
Yeah. We're getting through it.
Well, yeah.
Good thing we ain't got nowhere to be.
We'll be fine.
Yeah, luckily I got a fiance that loves me for me.
Speaking of your fiance, #1 asshole right here.
Yo,
he just took the #1 ranking.
I'm glad you brought that up.
I'm glad I brought it up too.
We have this. A group of us.
I'm glad you brought it up.
A group of us we've been having. You know, Joe and I. We all came up together. So we all have this thing where we always say who's the #1 dirtbag, depending on what has happened.
Dirtbag
in that
and
moment.
asshole are two different.
Dirtbag and asshole. We
But dirtbag was the popular category.
Yeah, dirtbag was a category, and asshole was another one, and we came up with the rules. What's the difference between one another or whatever. Joe has, in recent years, Joe has been holding the asshole title for a while.
DJ Dainjazone.
I don't know what I've been doing.
I recently went on Instagram and I put a video of myself and my fiance, and she was on the phone with somebody, and I was like back behind her, like grinding on her, and I had a bottle of wine in my hand or whatever.
But she's like this, like for those that can't see me, she's got her one finger in her ear and the other one's on the phone on the other side. So, and she's like, it looks like she can't hear because this asshole's behind her, you know, being loud and music's loud and he's being mad.
It was her music. It was her music that she was playing. She was playing her music. So I'm back there, and he goes, "Oh, you got the #1 asshole title. You took it over." I said, "From that?"
So NCAA does updates the ranking every week. What have I done in recent weeks or within the week to make me #1?
And so that's a valid question, but you haven't done anything. But no one in our circle has done anything for them to take the title away from you. You've had the title for a minute now.
So all the shit I've done in the past, I've just done so much.
You've done so much, and
#1.
it's not even
like a Billboard chart.
It's not even about amount. It's the last thing you've done that we were like, "Oh, Joe's #1 asshole,"
the last thing?
and he got the title. We're not gonna get into it.
You know, because you don't know. You don't remember.
Oh, I know. Andre knows. He knows. We just don't. We're not gonna get into it.
You just don't want to drag our audience through that process. Wait, but are you calling him an asshole for documenting it? Because we're fresh off of you calling me an asshole for putting people on the stories without wanting to be on the stories.
Yeah.
So I'm taking it as he's an asshole. Well, double entendre there were the different things happening at the same time.
Yeah.
But you're saying that where he's certified asshole.
I think it's one big asshole moment.
I think you considered it to be an asshole moment because of your misinterpretation of it.
That's fair because look,
she smiled.
When I pull up your story and I see you and I see this poor little white girl doing this with her phone to her ear and the other hand covering her ear like she can't hear, and I hear loud music and you looking and acting ignorant, I'm thinking, damn, that's fucked up what he's doing to her.
And that's fair.
And that's my interpretation because, you know, and that's what I see. And to whoever's point, I don't know. But last week, Miki, I told him, I said, look, I don't know what was going on before and after the story, but your employee looked mad uncomfortable.
Got you.
During that. And I've seen people uncomfortable.
So that's
and I felt
related
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Got you.
So that's what it looks like. So all I know is what I see. And from the looks of it,
Hey, I look like an asshole. I got you. So I mean, so that's fair, but that still doesn't trump the last asshole moment that you've had.
What was the last? We got none but time, bro. What was the last asshole moment?
Listen,
in Rell's defense, though, it was posted on close friends.
Yeah, I didn't send it out to the public. Post. I sent it out to people.
That might be the four of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know who saw it, the amount of people who saw that. You know,
still an asshole moment.
Don't
you're right. So again,
don't be little Rell for trying to entertain us. It's quarantine.
I'm all for it.
You're trying to egg it on.
It did make me cringe. I sent you crying face.
Oh. Yeah, he started laughing about
funny.
it. He started laughing about it.
We all reacted.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even still, Sam hit me up and she was just like, Sam hit me and she accidentally put the applause. And I was like, okay. Thanks, Sam. I was to give her a high five, right?
Hey, Joe, you got the green light.
And Joe, go for it.
She hits me back. Sam hits me back and she goes, that was meant to be a crying face, not an applause. I was like,
So you're not encouraging it. So crying face can be encouraging because it's entertaining her.
True.
Right.
But I will say this, and we talked about this a week or two ago. We were all huddled in the back and we were talking about who we were and why we were labeled asshole and dirtbag. I will say that in past, I've been, because I'm straightforward and I say what it is, I've been interpreted as an asshole.
Yeah.
You know, so I think, I don't know if that's fair per se. I don't know if you could, like you dancing and being ignorant and being loud, what looks like being loud in front of your girlfriend while she's on the phone. I don't think that compares to someone saying, just being dead honest with you and say, nah, that ain't it. Or no, that's garbage. Or no, do better. And then me being interpreted as an asshole for being honest.
Well, it's kind of the same thing because it's a misinterpretation, right? You can say something and I can misinterpret it.
All I know is what's going on in this 15 seconds with your fiance. You and I, if we have exchanges back and forth, there's no interpretation if I'm just being clear cut and dry, like, this isn't it.
But if you say something, right? So if you give me feedback or you're saying something like that ain't it or do bad or that's garbage, that's not that I can take that as an asshole. Your intention behind it is being like, no, I'm trying to motivate you to do better, but your verbiage was wrong, or your verbiage was just not what I wanted to hear.
There's a couple things here, fellas. Whoa. Let's not spend 10 minutes on backed up shit, number one. Number two, this is a not suitable for work type of pod today. So don't worry. Hopefully none of you guys are at work. Well, respectfully. And then number three.
I think every close group of friends has these conversations.
100%.
Moments.
Absolutely.
But number three, we're not really helpful until we start really giving examples and stop being so vague. So maybe we'll work on that for a future episode.
Absolutely.
With some proper
Let's
dialogue.
And we're not going to do that
where we're not breaking straws, right?
Yeah. If it involved the three of us, I'd absolutely just be like, yo, this is what happened. But it doesn't involve. It involves
right. Of course. So we got to be
people
respectful
that don't take place, and we want to be respectful
of some people. And we'll move on to not only getting to know, you guys are getting to know our personal relationships more and more. And we'll get into that more, it sounds like, at the end of this show. But how is everyone's, now I'm not in a relationship or quarantined with Bae. You fellas are.
Yeah.
Yes, we
I think
are.
that's something that...
Not yet. I see that.
You stuck that in there.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway.
We're going to talk about that.
Okay. So, yeah, I guess. So how are you guys doing with your significant others and really getting to know them, seeing nails grow out, seeing
Joseph?
extensions come out? I don't know.
Wanna go first?
I don't know what you guys, everybody has a different experience.
Yeah, last week I expressed that Sam has her space, I have my space, and we're pretty good with that. And sometimes she's on the phone talking to clients and families, so she's really focused on that and whatever. But the funny thing is, I woke up with her yesterday, and we walked the dogs, and the whole walk, which is like a 20-minute walk, we didn't say a word to each other, and we weren't upset with each other or anything. We just, in the morning, you get getting your morning thoughts and you're just like, trying to wake up. So we went on the whole walk and we got back, fed the dogs, and, we're starting to get, I'm starting to get my coffee ready. She's doing the same. And then, we give each other a kiss. It was like, that was nice. There was no silly, because it's usually play that starts anything, right?
Right.
You poke fun at each other, starts out as play, and then it gets into like play. And then depending on how far you want to go with her, it can get serious over some dumb shit.
Right.
That's just the formula for
Right.
relationships when you get into some dumb conversations.
Right.
Conversations you don't need to have. And a lot of times when you're quiet, when you're in a space with someone, like I'm perfectly comfortable being in a space with someone and not saying a word to them.
Right.
I don't know how they're feeling, but the older I get, the more I realize if I try and force a conversation, it's going to be dog shit.
Right.
And we'll talk about shit that we don't care to talk about, or we're forcing a negative conversation because that's entertaining, right? You know, we talk about shit that's just, oh man, the COVID stuff. You know what I mean? Like it gets old and it's just unhealthy.
Right.
So we agree, you know, we just won't say anything to each other until 12 o'clock. And I realized that, so that's been fine.
Well, what time do you wake up?
As of late, 8 o'clock.
You
Like
guys
out of
usually wake
bed.
up together. Somebody sneaks out.
Yeah, 7:30, 8 o'clock. Sometimes she'll take the dogs for a walk by herself and I'll do my own morning thing. And sometimes I feel like joining.
Okay.
So there's that. And then later on in the day, so we went on a walk today and I brought this up before a long time ago on this pod where when she gets home, she's tired, she's hungry, she's cranky.
It's dangerous.
Yeah. But it's perfectly normal for anyone that works in 9 to 5. You come home and you just,
Right.
and some people got to go straight to cooking.
Yeah.
And they're lazy. They want to go out and buy stuff, you know. So even though she's home all day and she has access to whatever she wants to eat or whatever, still on that walk, you know, she wants to play. But I realized if I just keep my mouth shut and not entertain it, because she's trying to get me to play.
Right.
You know, she's trying to get me to bite the bait.
Right.
But when I just keep my mouth shut, after a few of those situations, she'll realize what I'm doing and just be nice to me, or just chill out.
Right.
You know. So so I know her patterns. I know how she works. I know how we work.
Right.
So it's up to me.
Right.
Do I want to engage in this and continue to, or have fun and go back and forth with her,
Right.
or do I shut the fuck up?
Right.
And you know, let's get home to where there's food and perhaps a nap. So that's where we're at in our relationship in the quarantine era.
The quarantine era.
Now, Rell, be careful
Yep.
because she watches the show.
Yeah, she does. Sam watches the show too, doesn't she?
She hasn't listened in a bit.
You know, he
No,
could give away the whole game.
My
plan.
fiance don't watch the show like that. She only watches it when I'm watching it. So like the shit that you see her post is because I'm watching it. So she doesn't like willingly go.
I got caught in friendly
turn or
fire.
whatever. Yeah,
You just into that.
Yeah,
I was like, wait a minute.
it just happened to be on a point where she looked up and like, what the fuck? And I was just like, oh yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, you heard that?
Oh yeah, you heard that.
You heard that? You didn't hear the whole thing.
Yeah, you know
that part.
I try to. What I do is I'll play whenever we talk about our significant others. I'll put the episode on, and I'll put it on to the part where I'm praising her, like
Oh yeah.
I love
Yeah.
Mike or whatever. So I do that. Like
timestamp
I'll just
down.
play that part. Like whatever. And it's rare that I don't really ever talk shit about my girl
Right.
outside of talking it to her. I'll talk shit to my girl all day and tomorrow. Like that's what I do. I wake up and I do that.
Number one asshole. Go ahead. Keep going.
So when I'm out, I'll praise her or whatever. So I was just showing it, and then I guess that was the first episode that I wouldn't so much praise because we were talking about how
The TikTok.
the TikTok thing, and then them being indecisive when we agreed to do it.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Wait a minute," and then I was just like, "Hey, yeah, look at this. Still haven't done TikTok yet." Anyways, we're good, man. Like I said, we're good. We're great. Same thing. She's still working from home. She's able to teach her dance classes virtual through Zoom and all that stuff. So she's in her own space.
Where's her space in your house?
She mainly takes up the living room.
And then
Because-
where are you?
I'm in the studio because she can hook up her phone to the Apple Music and play the music off the sound bar and stuff like that. And it's loud enough for, her students and whatnot to hear it. And then it's enough space. She'll just move a couple pieces of furniture and then she has like the space to herself to do her thing. And then I'm either in the bedroom. If I'm in the bedroom, I'm reading. If I'm in the studio, obviously I'm working on music or whatever. So yeah, we're in our own space and she'll be out there for hours and I'll be chilling, doing my own thing, like go take the dogs for a walk or take them outside and play with them. and whatnot. And we're good. Our communication, I will say that our communication has been a lot better because now those little tedious things that you would normally just be like, whatever, like you wouldn't allow to bother you. Obviously, when they continue to happen because y'all on top of each other for longer periods of time, they start to, you allow them to affect you. So now it's not like, now it's, hey, this is a concern of mine. And then those conversations happen and it just, boom, all right, cool. I'm aware of it. You're aware of it. Now we can move forward. So the communication has definitely been evolving.
Yeah.
As I should say. So it's been great, man. It's been a great experience. I can't complain. I know a lot of people are not experiencing what we're experiencing in our relationship.
Right.
And that's sad. You know what I mean? Like, I'm great, especially for someone
Rell
that's
got
about
the
to get...
perfect relationship.
Huh?
Rell got the perfect relationship.
Hey, man, I'm not saying my relationship is perfect, but my relationship is good.
Right.
Good for you.
It's healthy. Communication's key.
It's perfect for you.
It's perfect for me. Yeah, we can say that.
That's all that matters.
Well, one thing we've been doing lately is riding our bikes a lot.
There you go.
So, you know where I live.
Yep.
And I live a few blocks
where
away
I
from
live.
some...
Pull up.
Yeah, pull up, man. No, I live a few blocks away from some, I don't know, I guess you can call it $1 million neighborhood out in Sherwood Forest.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I know those properties are $1 million plus.
Yep.
So we'll take our bikes down there and it's just dope, man, just to see all these houses and the big properties. That big white house looked like a drug dealer situation.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had any of these people walk out on you while you videotaping their houses?
All I could think about, sorry to cut you off, but all I could think about is when you were doing that, you guys have the Neighbors app?
No.
You know what that is?
No.
Okay, so you know the Ring.
I have the Ring. Yeah.
The Ring.
That
So
one,
Ring
yeah.
has a partnership application called the Neighbors app, similar to the Citizen app, which both of those basically are user commented for notifications on like burglary incidents,
any suspects, going on.
things like that. So I couldn't help but like when Joe is all up on the gate, I'm like, damn, because I deleted the app. There's too much shit going on. But there would always be like suspicious white man by my gate at 3 o'clock. Like,
Funny thing is
keep an eye out.
So I go to that house and whenever I have family in town and I always there's a house that's built like a castle. So when people are in town or I just haven't seen that house in a while, I'll take them to that house. And even at night, I'll park in front of their house and we'll just look at it because it looks like a full-on castle. And they got this huge, like the dragons, they have a huge dragon statue that it's pretty much the space of this center court, not as wide, but they have it right there in their front yard. So I don't know what these people's fetish is, but it just looks like a full-on castle. It's like nothing else you've seen in a neighborhood. So I always go to this house and I'm always like in the front yard, just like, and I want to show people like, yo, check this out. Of course I mean no harm, but I can see people saying, but I think they get that. I've seen other people walk by just like showing. Yeah. So I think it's one of those situations.
Yeah, but when they see you repeatedly, then they'll be like, nah, he definitely scoping out the crib.
I mean, last time I did it was, I don't know, a year ago. So it's not like I'm there every month being weird. But
This guy's been scouting our house for a year.
But all the other videos are just Sam and I riding in the middle of the street and just getting a look at what these houses look like.
So that's been like a nice little exercise.
Yeah.
Exit.
Yeah, I think we did 8 miles one day. We went all the way out to Cal State Northridge.
Hey, Eminem.
Yeah. And yeah, it's just been dope to be out, and especially when you're inside.
You have really good streets for that. Like you have nice straight paths.
No hills or nothing like that.
I mean,
not really.
It's so funny.
Just, those neighborhoods you would never expect the neighborhoods to look the way they do and the size of the properties. They're like, I don't know if ranch style properties is the right word, but they're freaking huge.
They're sitting on like acres, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. It's just, again, Miki knows where I live, so he knows what's around us, and they're very standard houses around us.
We all know where you live,
Once
Joe.
you go into this share, So once you go into the Sherwood Forest, huh?
I said, no, I actually still live in that area, so I understand where he's going.
Yeah.
But it's not very hilly for being all the hills. Granada Mission.
Yeah, valid point.
It's not very hilly. There's only like 2 hills.
No, there's that one big hill off Plummer.
There's the one on Plummer. that shares over the school.
That's really like, no, that's Granada.
That's the big hill.
That's North Hills. Yeah.
It's still north, but it's really west. Never mind. Let's not get into hill conversation in the valley.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, so that's been our new thing.
There you go. I like it. Well, Granada does go up. Never mind. The mountain hills, big hills. Sorry, A1A talk. Good times. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really been out. I've been a little occupied.
You haven't been quarantining, chilling with anybody?
Nah, man. Nah.
Nah, man, that's for sure quarantine.
Hey,
like,
nah,
the way he answered that,
you sound like ball for a second.
Look, man.
He sounded scripted. He wrote that down. He said, when they ask you quarantine, chilling, just say, nah, man.
Skip. No, so you know, I've been pretty occupied at the moment with you guys can't see in our shot here, but the store is a little slammed with stuff. Yeah. And we officially and I'll make sure to make a proper announcement before this airs, but yeah, we've officially closed our Orange County chapter of Mag Park. This is part of, you know, just being able to take things to, you know, as they're slow, to really take a step back and look at everything going on. Not everything is, you know, butterflies and roses during this time. And so Joe and I had a couple brief conversations just in regards to my strategy with having 19 plus employees. And, you know, at the moment, we just got to be conscious of decisions, not only for the company, but for also every individual that works for us, you know, giving them the best opportunity to be financially stable during a tough time. And so for us, it just made sense for, and it's not, I don't want to go into the give me some sympathy because of this pandemonium, almost flopped like Mayweather on that pandemic. He tried to say epidemic, but it was like, never mind. You got to watch the video. But I'm not going to disguise it as something that was a result of this situation. It was something I've been thinking about for a long time. And so now with everything kind of like stuck, if you will, as far as like moving forward, it just made the most sense to focus all energy into the things that were working for us. So that's where I've been spending my time. I would love to say that I've been spending it at home, but that was the first week. This last week has been literally a ton of trips and a lot of help from the family to get us out of there. It's a process. But happy, man. This is to me, that's my business is at the end of the day, it's my relationship at the moment. Nothing else.
Right. So we're not quarantining and chilling with nobody.
Look, man.
We gonna put the pressure on Joe.
Have you? Okay. So
Go on. We're listening.
So look, me and Joe had a conversation today, and I referred to somebody as my girl. Okay, but like how else do you like my friend? You know, that kind of downplays it. What if well, not that she's checking my messages, but like you don't want to like.
But so, I because you said my girl, I'm like, well, he didn't say homegirl.
Ah, damn, homegirl would have been good use of words.
Then I would have been like, oh, okay, you know, just
a negative. It
is what it is, you know. But when you say my girl, that doesn't raise flags, but it definitely raises questions.
Sure.
And it's like, oh, so she wifey?
No.
And I'm just like, well, if she
went from my girl to wifey.
Do you see? Okay, thank you, Rell.
Yeah, see.
So I'm thinking, well, if she's your girl, then that means what my definition of it is, there's no one else involved. So she's just wifey. That's bad.
Is this an exclusive situation?
Man, are we doing this on here?
We are doing this, man. We ain't got nothing but time, bro. You said it earlier.
Yeah. I mean, sure.
Okay. This is going to be. Give us flowers. That man is flowers. He admitted it. Whoever that special someone is, listen, Michael Guetta, aka MikiWAR, just admitted that it's exclusive. That's a big deal.
Yeah, the funny thing is I said, nah, keep her ass upstairs. She can't come down here for this. While we're quarantining.
I was being respectful because even Joe tried to throw me at because she was down to hang around and sit somewhere.
Oh, and you say no?
Yeah.
No, we're trying to quarantine. We shouldn't even be doing this.
True. You make a good point.
Look.
Anyway, look.
Any other
Hold on,
situation?
but out of respect,
call
hold on,
me
out of
an asshole,
respect.
But
You make a good point. I
No,
get
don't paint
that.
him as an asshole because I gave him the opportunity to out of respect. I know the situation. We're taking this serious. Just because we're not wearing masks or we're not like, whatever, right?
and you haven't had anyone working here, right?
No, we have. But like I've told you guys what the process and the procedures, and I mean, this shit definitely didn't get in here with 3 people. Like this took my family.
Well, no, I'm not talking about family. I understand that, but I'm saying like you have 1 or 2 employees still helping out around here.
4.
Okay.
Outside of myself.
Okay.
That are managers and still we're doing inventory and doing all the things that we couldn't really do because we always be helping out customers or whatever else. And so they're still in here, but we practice, obviously every time we walk in, washing our hands, we're sanitizing. If we eat, we're keeping distance. Anybody who doesn't feel well. Matter of fact,
Stay your ass
one of my employees wasn't feeling well, and it wasn't even the symptoms of the COVID-19 virus, but it was other symptoms that just where she didn't feel healthy.
Yeah.
And we both spoke about it and just like, look, just take your time. Don't come in because we need to keep everything sanitary and healthy in here.
Yeah.
And so, there's people that's been in here, and that's why, and I'm here regardless, working almost every day, to anything that needs to get done. And so, we were going to be here recording. I told Shorty, we'll be here, during the day. I don't have anything to do till 6. If you want to pull up, she made me some banana nut bread. It was delicious. You guys should have a slice. It's upstairs. And,
Bacon.
she bakes. She cooks.
Well, sounds like a keeper to me.
Sounds like a keeper.
Sounds like wifey to me.
So just relax. Everybody relax, okay? I don't know. Well, hopefully
In a week, we're gonna ask Miki how's his quarantine and dating relationship going.
No, we're still
keep
see.
tabs
But that's
on
the
that.
thing, though. Is like we're also being very cautious in quarantine. Like I haven't seen her in 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and it's just kind of seems. But we're respecting, the things to be done. It's just at a certain point, it's like, all right, I got some free time. I haven't had any free time. Still working, so figured I don't know, make the best of the empty slot of the day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it. No need to talk more about that.
I didn't put this in the notes, but I want to say it before I forget. There are some opportunities for grants and loans
Yes.
for entertainers. Shout out to Matsu. He put it in our DJ City chat. Are you in the chat?
I think so. I don't know.
Oh no, the WhatsApp chat.
Oh no,
DJ
I'm not on WhatsApp.
You have WhatsApp?
I have WhatsApp, but I haven't been using
I'll
it.
you in there.
throw them in there.
But so yeah, shout out to Matsu. I don't know where you would find this, but it is from William Morris, so maybe check their website. I just downloaded it and the PDF. But there are a ton of opportunities to get grants and loans, and they even got it for stage crew. Like there are just I don't know how many different situations, but songwriters, entertainers, so anybody involved in the industry. Go to William Morris and look this up, and there might be some money for you if some of the situations say we're out of money now, but check back. So keep tabs on that because people continue to donate, and they'll tell you, look, regardless of how much you make, if you do qualify, we only got $500 for you, which is still $500. You know,
Better than nothing.
but yeah. I mean, I spent the whole morning going through that and applying and doing all that. And then, of course, you guys should know about unemployment. And you can date it back to as far as January 28th, I believe. But yeah, go get your unemployment checks as well. We as independent contractors do qualify for that now. So yeah, William Morris, look it up.
Yeah, or you go to SBA disaster. You go onto the website. Small business associations working with everything.
Yeah.
I have a cousin who's certified actually to give out that loan.
Dope.
He's worked through the process, and it's something that we're looking into heavily just because there's also the payroll grant situation going on for businesses that'll cover 2.5 months of payroll.
Nice.
And if you prove or have documentation that you continue to use it for payroll or rent, I believe there's a small adjustment on the rent part, but they won't charge you for that if you prove that you used it for that.
Yeah.
It's a loan, and I believe it's like something like 4% interest over 10 years. So it's like
nothing.
Right on.
So definitely do your research as a DJ or independent contractor or business owner. There's a ton of programs. It is first come, first served, so some of this might be a little late, but
Never hurts to try.
Do your research and see whatever you can get out of this situation.
Yeah, we got none but time in our hands right now. And
big facts.
With all that time, have you guys been watching any IG lives?
You know it.
Yes.
Who stands out to you?
Well, are we talking DJs? Talking battles?
Let's talk DJs right now.
All right, DJs right now.
We should talk something DJ related, huh?
I'm gonna say the one that doubling down on some of the ones that I mentioned last time. Besides D-Nice, Angie V's numbers continue to rise.
Did she get higher than 1,200? Last time I checked, she was 1,200 and counting.
I haven't checked on that, but she's doing something great there. I have been seeing more and more companies getting involved with DJs and doing events. I think last night, Jamie from the Road Podcast did one for Park MGM and Best Friend.
Yeah.
And they did like each venue. Shout out to Zach Bia from Hwood Group. He did one with his friend Pedro. And that was a full production. I sent that to you yesterday. Where they had a green screen in front of the booth behind them, and they were sending graphics through the live, and the lineup of people in that chat was pretty insane.
Yeah.
Along with they changed the background to like Delilah, like one of their venues, and different things like that, and it just looked crazy.
Well, the people in the chat that stood out to me because I gave it a 20-second look. It was like Drake and Kylie.
Right.
That's it. That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know.
And anybody that's associated with them, like friends with Zach. Yeah. And then I think Zach even like world premiered a song, 2C Slide or something like that. But he played a song, and Drake's in there while they're playing it. It's kind of funny. Any other lives that stood out, DJ Wise?
Well, I want to go back to Angie. I was thinking about how she continues to do extremely well at this, and probably one of the better ones in regards to continuing to grow the audience.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, damn, when this is all said and done, I wonder what's going to happen with her, because someone's got to scoop her up. I don't think she's with anyone, right? She's not with Scam. I feel like I feel like if it's anyone, it's Scam. But yeah, so I would think Scam would scoop her up, or an agency would scoop her up, because I think she's getting a lot of recognition for what she's doing. And I'm curious to see how that works out for. Obviously, we're all rooting for her.
Right.
But I'd like to see how that goes. And this goes to our point we had last week on who's going to come out on top, or who's going to come out benefiting from this the most. And I think she's put herself in a really good position as long as she continues to do what she's doing. But in regards to, I saw Byte. You told me to check out Bytes. I missed it. Yeah. And then on the drive up, I saw Byte Music, BYTE Music, Red Bull 3-style champ, of course, DJcity guy. Full on production as well. Yeah. He was giving you routines. He was giving you just different backgrounds and different camera angles. Mojax had different camera angles, very clean. And yeah, shout out to the DJs that continue to evolve this. Last week, everyone was just playing off their studio speakers and calling it a day. But it got, I think it's gone better, and DJs are doing the research to figure out what they need to do to make this sound as best as possible. Yeah. Scene has had a dope. His Scenes mixes have been dope. Scenes mixes a lot of scratching. It's not fucking like too deep hip hop to where you just don't know the songs. So it's familiar. At least the old school songs are familiar.
Yeah.
And every track he's giving you something. He's giving you some even if it's just like a couple scribbles or a couple chirps, it really helps the flow of when you're watching it. I know there's more. I can't think of it.
Yeah. Me personally, I've been heavy on Scenes. IG Live. His, like you said, just music wise, his attitude, his personality in general is just dope. It's radiating just to watch that and just be like, all right, cool. He's been doing it. He's been doing it every day, but there's been days he's been doing it twice a day. One night I caught him, and it had to be like after 9 o'clock or something like that. He had the rooms in it, and he had the lights in his room like dimmed. Yeah. There's some candles lit, and he was playing house music. Yeah. And it was just like some cool, just like minimal like type, just dope shit. And I was just like, man, like you see, this is where, you know what I mean? I appreciated that, and I was like, man, Scene's been doing this. I checked out Scenes this morning, and he shouted us out. He was like, "What's up, Rell? Shout out to MikiDz Podcast, all those guys over there, DJcity." So he shouted us out. I know if you're not able to catch Scene live, he does post all his on his podcast. Yeah. So if you haven't seen anything, if you haven't seen any of them, he posted up, and he just recently put one of his mixes on Double Down's
he did
thing.
Yeah.
Which was dope.
Yeah, and you can find his mixes in his bio.
Yeah.
So, and they're always worth checking out. He always gives it to you.
Getting a ton of content on IG Live.
Yeah, man. It's funny. I will say this. I noticed a lot of DJs are going at the same time. And I think some guys, I'm not saying they got to communicate with each other, but if I see, I don't know, we all have follow different people. But if I see 6 people going at 12 o'clock on my feed, I would think there's 6 people going on everyone's, down everyone's feed or around there. So I would think, all right, let me bump mine to 1 or 2, because around 1 or around 2 or 3, I don't really see anybody going live. And I don't know, maybe that's just the peak hour for them and that what works best. But I don't know, everyone's feed is different, I suppose, but that's just something that crossed my mind.
Yeah, it's like going into a club with different rooms. Like it just, somebody's might be catching.
Well, it's like going out on industry night, and there's 5 clubs open, and typically there's 1 or 2 clubs open on the industry night, and everyone supports that. But
just don't have to pay for parking.
No, yeah, I agree, because I was thinking about the same conflict when some of these DJs were going live, when these battles were going on, the producer songwriter battles were going on, and I'm like, man, like I want to be supportive and watch the DJ that I want to watch, but you won't ever see shit like this happening. Yeah. So I was like, I gotta tune into this and watch this shit, man. And no offense to them, and I think you're right. Just being aware of the time and how many people are going on and what's going on at that time.
Yeah, the good thing is people are posting flyers now, so it's like, okay. But at the same time, you're gonna post your flyer. And I saw Scene, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but I saw he crossed out his 12 p.m. time slot, moved it to 1.
Yeah,
but at least again, I don't know the reason, but it's, you can still make the adjustment
exactly
before it happens.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, it's hard to gauge, but just keep an eye out, see what the best opportunities are. I mean, there's definitely been people who've even moved it to a different day just because it makes the most sense. Or, guys are ordering equipment and they're buying their ways to give the best quality or best production of different, hardware or tools and things like that.
And shout out to Audio One. I listened to his Day 16 podcast on my jog today. Real dope, eclectic mix. Like a lot of different shit, not just club shit. Like,
he's been putting out a mix every day since this quarantine thing started.
That dude's got so much music. He's good for a year.
Every day. How long? How long are his mixes have been?
Oh, actually, I didn't see how long that mix was. It's a really good question. Maybe I don't know. To be honest.
Can you think about that? Think about it. If it was, let's say, just averaging an hour. Think about an hour. 60. You know how many songs you could play in an hour, regardless of what the genre is? Every day, 7 days a week. Yeah, that's insane.
I mean, he got a lot of music.
He does have a lot of music.
And he's one of those dudes that loves
OG,
music, so he will continue to dig. Like the edits I was hearing, I search different sites, and the edits I was hearing, I don't think I've heard those edits anywhere else. Mm. So he's probably on SoundCloud and Bandcamp, just getting the cool, the really cool shit that's not out. Stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of content.
Tons of content. Speaking of all that, the IG Live battles that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Yep.
Been crazy.
Had some monstrous matchups.
Man.
and we're fresh off of kind of the most recent one. Should we go recent and backwards or start where?
Well, I've only seen the Storch one.
Okay.
Scott Storch.
You were tuned in for that one.
I was tuned in
Typically,
for
it's
that.
just me, Rell, and Andre lighting up our chat room.
Yeah, they got to go at a time that's suitable for me. You know what I'm saying? So
This guy.
if they ain't doing it for me,
And I'm the asshole.
that doesn't make me an asshole. That's just preference. It's a comment, Rell. Can I have fun on my podcast?
You can.
Okay.
You can, absolutely. That doesn't mean that I can't call you an asshole.
True.
That's true.
Fair. Okay, so most recent, we all saw this one. Manny Fresh's Scott Storch.
Or Scott Storch.
I'm glad we've had a day to kind of like marinate on this because there's initial reaction, I think, and then there's maybe after the facts have come out or some of the information. I'm sorry, not facts.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that I'm biased towards one way or the other, even though Scott Storch still owes my store money. So on that note, how do we feel about the battle? Who won? And
Joseph?
expound.
Since this was your only battle that you've seen?
Scott won, but I think these battlers need to be clear on what they're battling, what the topic is. For example, the T-Pain versus Lil Jon battle will be out by the time this airs, so we don't know how that's gonna work
tonight?
out. No, it's Saturday night.
Tonight is French Montana versus Tory Lanez.
So, but it's clear they're gonna go 20 songs of hits.
Yup. Hits
Okay.
only. Yup.
So, and I bring that up because Manny was playing a lot of quote unquote street Cash Money songs. And I wouldn't say those were hits, but in the streets, they were hits.
Yeah. In his hood, in his neighborhood, they were probably hits.
And when you were growing up, like those tracks were considered quote unquote ghetto or hood or whatever. So and you can tell it's written all over Manny's face. He's just like, man, this is the shit. Fuck what you're playing. Fuck that R&B shit. Like, this is the shit. And Scott's, nah, like, all right, like, yeah, that's cool, but it ain't. How many records did that sell? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he didn't say that, but it's written all over.
Yeah.
It's written on both their faces. Like, I think there was a miscommunication there. But yeah, Scott, when it came pound for pound, hit for hit, Scott just had a wider range, whether you want to call it R&B or hip hop. Look, Scott was putting out, it felt like through his run was like a hit a week, right? There were a hit a month, call it.
Hit a month, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you got to just think about all the tracks that weren't hits. Like, the dude was working his ass off. Not saying Manny wasn't, because I think they
Right.
all were just locked in the studio.
Right.
But that just speaks to these guys' legend and their hard work. Let's say he puts out 10 tracks and you got one hit for every 10 tracks. You put out one hit a month. Like, that's a lot of work. You know what I mean? Like, these guys are putting in a lot of work. So even the ones they didn't play were still incredible songs that just didn't make their top 20 for that battle.
Right.
I just can't get over how much work was put in to their catalog coming up.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I think it's just, again, it's been cool to see the progress of the battles because it started very like rogue and kind of these not having rules or
No
like
structure to it.
Structure to it really made it difficult, to determine what this is based off of. And then yeah, I mean the clarity between, and again, the original quote unquote battle was Scott Storch against T-Pain. And then they made this whole fuss about T-Pain backing out, but they said it would be weird to have a writer go against a producer.
Yeah, get the details straight.
Right. And then also, on that end of it too, there's what, again, it's 2020 and people still don't understand the definition of a producer, it feels like sometimes. But, at the same time, this all really feels like who's got a bigger catalog, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's on my resume? And whether I played 5 keys on the record or I made the entire thing from front to back and wrote it and whatever, everybody's got a different skill set. And I think that's where, yeah, sure, if you're going song for song, Scott's a winner by 5 to 6 records. But if you go based on what's your actual contribution or is that your actual record? Manny made all those records.
Whenever there's a comparison between artists or producers, I always think the first thing that comes to my mind is, did you shift the culture? And Manny shifted the culture. Scott added to it, but he never changed the sound.
Yeah.
Manny changed the sound and birthed what's popular now. The twerk sound that's popular now. Actually, there was an evolution of twerk sound because Diplo did his thing with Express Yourself, and he credited Manny for that. And now we're at the City Girls and what they're doing. It's an evolution of what Express Yourself was, and that's an evolution of Manny Fresh's work. So Manny continues to birth this style or give life to what's keeping girls dancing in the club. Scott has a lot of hits, but did he change anything with his sound? Like, did the industry shift and say, we need to make that?
Well, it depends on what you consider his contributions, because his keys and his accolades and what he did for Dre's production, I think did change, and it birthed this West Coast sound at times that evolved into a pop sound.
You're saying Scott, right?
Scott, yes. Yeah. And Manny, I get what you're saying, where he took the bounce of New Orleans into, what it became later on. But you could argue, I'm sorry to bring this out of left field, but I'd argue that Mustard's influence in some of these like City Girls, I think, is more dominant. His influence is more dominant there than the bounce sound, if you will.
How so?
Just like in the style of the records, it feels like it follows that model that Mustard built, but maybe I'm not equipped to go into that battle.
I will say this, that when Dre put out The Chronic, it changed music, right?
Sure.
And then there were a few more things that, just in hip hop in the last, what is it, 40 years now? 50 years? There's always a thing, a sound, or someone that shifts it. To your point about Scott and the West Coast stuff, I will say that he helped bring the West Coast sound back, because when you got Chronic 2001, you also got some popular Snoop stuff, and Corrupt had a little bit of a comeback. I don't know if that was a nationwide thing, but Exhibit's that first album with Dre was a huge deal. And that was a part of the whole Dre is back, Chronic 2001. But I don't just mean City Girls when I say what Manny Fresh has done, because what's Drake's hit with the Lauryn Hill sample?
Nice for What?
Nice for What? And even In My Feelings.
Murder on the Beats, yeah.
In My Feelings, okay, yeah. And when I hear those songs, I think Manny Fresh. And then when I hear those songs, I think of everything that came after those songs. And I think that the City Girl stuff is, and it all kind of happened at the same time, because Twerk came out around the same time as In My Feelings, I think. But they were onto something.
Twerk
by the City Girls. Sorry, it's Twerk by the City Girls. Yeah, right? That's the name of the song?
I got you.
Yeah. So that all happened around the same time.
You just want the song and not the genre.
The song, Twerk by City Girls. Yeah, because that was their breakout.
Yeah.
Cardi helped make that a big thing. And then they had their hit after that.
Gotcha.
So that to me is they're all children of Manny Fresh.
I apologize. I misunderstood what you were saying earlier about
that. I reason I was going to agree with Mike, because I assumed you were talking about
Act Up.
Yeah, Act Up. I was something like that. So, but Twerk does have that.
Yes,
that Manny Fresh sound. Yeah, that bounce, whatever. Yeah.
Act Up. I hear Mustard. I understand that. Yeah, and I also didn't mention the Drake songs, but yeah, Murder Beats kill that. But it's definitely, especially at the end when it gets all choppy,
fully
that's
influenced.
Definitely a page out of what Manny Fresh was doing. So
absolutely.
Yeah, that's why I think Manny Fresh is a culture shifter. And to me, I don't know, I'm gonna say he's a bigger deal than Scott, but that's just what I think when I think comparing producers or anybody.
Yeah,
change the culture.
Yeah, I think ultimately it's and again, like, I think ultimately there's everybody kind of is winning in these situations.
Yeah,
because you're dealing with so many young millennials that don't even understand the music that they're listening to
Exactly.
that impacted our lives, whether it be through high school, middle school, or whatever generation, that just like those were those records for us.
Yeah.
And same for the records that we were playing at clubs, or more importantly, house parties at our prime, where we had to collect the vinyl for, you know what I mean? Like those were our joints. And to have them kind of, you know, bring this out. Yeah, everybody's a winner. I would say it's more even than as what I felt like lopsided when it was actually happening. Because as you found out, like, you know, like Scott's he didn't do The Watcher like all by himself. He didn't do Mary J. Blige's, I forgot the song already.
Family Affair.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like he threw Cry Me a River like in there. And like,
but we all know Timbo did that.
But Timbo obviously had the biggest influence on that record.
Yeah.
But he was a part of that production.
But he did the keys or something.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just one of those things where it's just like, all right, if you start to bring out the technicalities, like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could rip it apart like that. You know what I mean? But if we're talking about the whatever the details, the rules of the battle was, by far Scott got him. And I mean, that's just my opinion. We're talking about hits, regardless of what their involvement was.
We're talking catalog.
Because we can go, you know, for example, we can go back to when the Hit Boy and Boy Wonder one happened. Boy Wonder played Jay-Z and Rick Ross, Fuck With Me, You Know I Got It. I said, what? Timbaland did that beat. But Wonder Boy had an involvement in that beat. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
we can sit here and nitpick at like, oh, you didn't really do anything. You just played some chords on it and then that was it.
So who do you think won?
The Scott Storch and man from Scott Storch, because it was hits. Every track was a hit. Literally, every track he played was a hit. You know what I mean? And not to take away from what Manny Fresh has done for the industry and for the game, but that's what it was. Now, if this was a beat battle, and you can say what beat was better, obviously Manny got him. In my opinion, you know, I think Manny got him.
But see, at that point, can Manny Fresh play What Happened to That Boy? Because of his contribution to the record versus because it's part of his catalog. No, I know the Neptunes did it.
But I hear what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
But he didn't have, I get that. But he didn't have no physical involvement with that specific track. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to Scott Storch actually, even if it was just as minimum of his, you know, playing chords for 4 bars, he still went in and contributed those chords to that beat.
No, I think
as
that's
opposed
fair.
to, I hear what you're saying.
I'm just bringing up the conversation.
He adapted a sound, and that sound was brought into everybody. If that's the case, you know what I mean? Like pioneers like Manny Fresh, Timbaland, you know, all these guys have created. Pharrell created these sounds.
I think that's the cool thing about this evolution of these battles is like every time it's getting a little more tighter, like in regards to the rules, right? Because we started with nothing. Now we got to an hour, then we got to 20 songs. Hook and chorus only.
Yeah.
Respect the space between the camera and your lips.
Exactly.
Like, different things like that.
Battles didn't take 4 hours anymore.
And only stuff that's out.
Yeah.
Which could be a blessing and a curse, I think.
Yeah.
Did you stick around for Scott's at the end where he played his new record with Osuna?
I did not.
I heard, I didn't stick around, but I heard it on Twitter. Someone posted it on Twitter.
He has a new record with Osuna and somebody else.
I was like, oh, did you have to get that cleared?
But I do agree with you. I do agree with you when you said Manny, because they were Manny Fresh's actual songs, that they hold a lot more weight to them, regardless of how they did on the charts. Yeah. Because if we go back to the Neo and Jonte Austin battle, which to me was by far my favorite one.
Yeah, thus far. And let's get into that. But before we do, I gotta give props to Manny for being on a DJ controller and like actually allowing outros and echo outs and stopping records, and he got a little extra on the skits a couple times.
Yeah,
because it's
I
just
thought those skits were kind of disrespectful, to be honest.
I mean, he treated it like a battle.
I mean, that's how I felt, especially about one of them.
Yeah,
and I was just like, "Damn, dog! Like he's
that one with
the strippers."
Yeah, that one was.
Bro, that was the one where I was like, "Damn, dog! Like this man's fought through all of that, and you got to bring that up." Like, anyway, but I got to give Manny credit for that, for bringing in the DJ aspect of it, because he's an OG DJ.
I mean, Boy Wonder did the same thing.
Kinda.
No, he used the controller.
Did he?
He had his controller. That's where he had the drops from and everything.
So then what I give Scott the most credit for is he played the keys.
That was dope.
Yeah.
And the man played the record on, like, oh my God, that gave me goosebumps when he played Break You?
No,
what's the Roots record? Where Erykah
You
Badu?
Got Me.
You got me.
You got
One
me.
with Erykah Badu on it.
Yeah, that's
Bro, when he, that was a moment.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, it's Jill Scott.
Jill
Erykah was the original on it, and then there was some,
Right.
you know,
Okay. Jill Scott.
yeah. That shit was crazy. When he played that ended the battle for me. I was like,
that was
Scott,
early.
I know. That's the point. That's what
Bro,
I'm saying.
I got chills, goosebumps, like when the snare dropped.
That was
I
a
was like,
moment.
I said, when he dropped that, I said, oh God, it's over. I said, I'm sorry, Manny. It's over.
over.
It's over.
But getting back to arguably the best battle of all of them, Neo versus Jonte Austin.
Jonte Austin. Yeah. So what I was saying is Jonte, so Andre and I were having this conversation, and I was saying the reason why Jonte, I felt like, may have had the edge a little bit is because of how long he's been in the industry. When you're pulling out Aaliyah,
Yep.
early Chris Brown,
Yep.
you know, why am I blinking? But you know, those records, I'm like, it's hard to go against that. Not taking away from Neo, but Neo, on the other hand, Neo played his tracks that did just as good, if not better, than a lot of tracks that Jonte was playing, right? So I was saying that Neo didn't need to depend on someone else's, another artist, whether it's stardom, their talent, whatever, to make a record big. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to Neo was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it myself.
Right.
And I can make this record just as big as a Beyonce record, as a Rihanna record, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? So I was like, that's what kind of kept Neo in that battle, and it made it extremely close.
Yeah.
But Jonte, he had them Aaliyah cuts, he had them early Chris Brown, them early Rihanna tracks, them Destiny Child's tracks. I was like, Jesus Christ, man. And I was like, and it's unfair when you got someone who's been doing it for 20 plus years to compare it to someone who's probably been doing it for 10 years. And I'm not saying that's their actual numbers. I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah.
Right. I felt like Neo had the upper hand in regards to just record for record. And I guess this all comes down to also how, and I was trying to pull up the side-by-side list of the battle, but...
Did they put the one out for theirs? I've only seen the one for Scott.
As far as like the written down version. Yeah, I think Swiss Beats and Timbaland are behind all of this, by the way. They've been kind of connecting dots here, and it's been going really well. But he only put out like a side-by-side, his opinion, win, draw, loss. I think he only did that for the Manny one. But I don't know. I think it was such an equal battle. And again, it just comes down to who's scoring this, who cares. But again, everybody wins. I don't think everybody really knew who Jonte was, like on a surface level.
Yeah,
like the way you know Neo.
Because Neo's an actual artist.
Our actual artist, right?
Yeah.
And as he said himself, when in doubt, go with yourself.
Exactly.
So that was dope. I think where Neo lost the battle for me was when he said, I think it was his third to last record, but when he told Jonte that he had a game plan, and then, but if we're going to go sex record against sex record.
Oh, that's when he dropped Mirror.
Yeah. And although hit, a great song.
For anyone who knows Neo from like the beginning, yeah.
And but I think that's where Jonte got him.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because people didn't really know that record like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised, but not surprised that Neo didn't go into his up-tempo bag and the things he's done for an era of music. Closers.
He could have played Let's Go with Calvin Harris and it would have been a rap, bro.
No, exactly. And he stayed out of that bag, I think, to keep things even playing field with what they were doing. But it was a true gentleman's game.
Yeah.
Like watching them just compliment each other, sing each other's songs. It was a really dope experience. Which was kind of night and day from, go back a battle before that.
Boy, what's it, boy?
No,
the Sean Garrett in the Dream.
The Dream.
Oh my God.
And we won't spend too much time because by now I'm sure you know. Hopefully you know. If you haven't, Sean Garrett, who's a great writer, we'll give him that, and he's got to be a great writer.
Yeah, he is
to deal with that man's kind of bullshit. Yeah. That man was wilding.
Man.
And, he said he wasn't on anything. He wasn't drunk or whatever. But, boy, you made a good case that was not the case. And it was a rough watch. I think my favorite moment was for sure when the Dream was waiting for him to say his speech. And he went to go play golf.
Oh, my God.
I mean, what kind of flex is it that you have a golf range in your backyard? Like 10 feet away from his studio.
Yo, you won the battle before it began, bro.
Man. I remember someone saying, if you wasn't in here when the Dream was playing golf, you can't say what the score is.
Right.
I was like, hey, touche, bro.
That was the beginning.
Man, that was hilarious.
I got the Dream winning that. Won't spend too much time on that battle. Sean did a great job at the end. He really recovered, if you will. But
yeah, he had a strong second half.
Very
strong second half.
But I think at the end of the day, man, and that's the other thing with these battles is you could play these amazing records. What was it? He wrote, was it Freak League? Or was it? What was it? So, I mean, you put it up Freak League, but you're putting it up against, I don't know, whatever record the Dream would play, right? And it'll be this. I mean, the man played All of the Lights second song. All of the Lights. I was like, oh.
Good luck.
And shout out to, we're all avid listeners of the JPB, the Joe Budden podcast. And one of the greatest things that Joe said was, I can't wait to see how Sean Garrett reacts to 1+1. And it was the first song. And it was at that point, you're just like, yo, Dream is not fucking around.
He came out
That's his
swinging.
First record. That's, All of the Lights is the second record.
He came out swinging, bro. And I was like.
And he's being a gentleman.
Did he play Fancy?
Huh?
Did he play Fancy?
He did. That's right. He did play Fancy.
And
that's probably my favorite Dream track.
We wanted him to play February Love, but he didn't play it.
Because your birthday's in February? Because your birthday's in February?
Birthday's in March.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
When Sean Garrett's connection accidentally fell off after All of the Lights, my favorite comment, because the chat room is probably one of the best things as well.
All this
is happening.
Absolutely.
Wale goes, hey, play Fast Car real quick. I'll try to see stuff. And then he went on to comment Fast Cars. I was singing it in my head. But that was an entertaining battle, just for the sake of creating rules and regulations after that.
I think that was the battle that kind of set what kind of rules and regulations they need to put, because that shit went on forever.
Yeah. And my man had, I've never heard the N-bomb drop so much in my life. There was no reason to yell. We were all right there. We heard you. But it was entertaining to say the least. And then before that, Hit Boy and Boy Wonder.
Yeah. I actually saw some of that.
That was a dope ass one too.
That was a great battle.
That was a dope one.
Wonder, I think, edges out.
Man, man.
Again, man, it comes down to hits.
I get it, man. When you got Drake in your back pocket, it's hard, bro.
I like Hit Boy's catalog better than
you like
Wonder.
who's?
I like Hit Boy's catalog better than Wonder's, but I'm not going to sit here and deny that Wonder doesn't have hits and chart toppers.
Yeah, I don't follow statistics like that, but to me, you made in Paris.
You made niggas in Paris, bro.
Yeah, thank you. Jump on in for us there. You made in Paris that I remember being at the Watch the Throne concert and listening to that song being played and performed. At the one I was at in Vegas, it was 17 times.
Yeah.
And it was better every time.
Yeah.
It's such a epic record. Yeah.
He saved it for last, or one of the last tracks that he played.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He saved it for one of his last records. But
I mean, and more recently, Sicko Mode, and it's just like they're huge records, and I think that's also where it gets tricky, right? Like, I mean, if you play in Paris and you're playing God's Plan, like against each other, it's hard to quote unquote have a clear winner.
Yeah, it's just I think Hit Boy. I agree. I think I liked Hit Boy's. I like Hit Boy's overall more than Boy Wonder. I think the Hit Boy has more diversity
That's
in
just
his
our
catalog.
preference.
Huh?
That's our preference.
I mean, yeah, it is my preference. You know, that I enjoy. And like Joe was saying, you can't deny that Wonder had hits. He had Drake.
Drake.
And I even commented. I go, every time Boy Wonder's back felt like he was against the wall, he dropped a Drake track.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He dropped a Drake track, and I was just like, but you gotta admit, Hit Boy had tracks with Jay and Beyonce, Rihanna, Kanye, Drake. He had tracks with Drake. You know what I mean? Like, you can go Travis Scott. He played Carousel. I was like, oh shit, Sicko Mode. Oh shit, like, you know what I mean? Like, you talking about hits, and you gotta talk, and you talk about the diversity of hits. Right. I think Hit Boy had it, but people are being like, you know, because if there was 20 tracks played, 12 of Boy Wonder's tracks were Drake tracks, which were all hits. Yeah, but Hit Boy played Trophies. That was probably one of Drake's top songs.
That was a dope moment.
He played Trophies. Like, all right, you gonna play Drake? I'm gonna play Drake. Boom.
Gotcha.
I was like, oh man. But I enjoy the battles, man. The battles are great. This is something that we've never experienced before.
Right.
Regardless if it's virtual, in person, I think it's great for the culture.
Yeah.
It's great for us as music advocates, just people who enjoy music in general. I'm really enjoying them. I hope they continue. I hope they get into them a little bit, think a little bit more about who they want to put up against each other before they just randomly like, oh, yeah, I want to battle this person. That don't fit.
Yeah, it seems like they're getting better at it.
They are getting. I mean, you get it. Like, it's a process, and it's starting to every battle seems a little bit better. Yeah. I think we just missed, or we're missing the French Montana and Tory Lanez one, but I can imagine how ignorant that one is. Mm-hmm. So we'll watch it I'll watch the highlights.
Hip hop is winning right now. Music is winning right now.
Absolutely.
As listeners, and I think the more remarkable stat of all of these things is this last Manny Fresh and Scott Storch. From all these different battles, this one got up to about 160.
200.
Or it got to 200.
It hits 200, yep.
And then it
got cut, right? Okay, so it got to 200.
Funny thing is, if it's copyright issues, like, those are their songs.
At this point, I think Mark Zuckerberg's like, let this one slide.
Yeah. I think it's at the point where they just have a thing like IG Live. If you're on there for an hour, they cut you out and you just have to go back on.
Yeah, the hour thing is a real thing. But
okay.
Hopefully they're overlooking the copyright situation. Yeah. One last thought on the IG Live thing. Yeah. Tidal's kind of winning right now. Tidal, yeah. The DSP. It is putting out the playlist of all the battles.
Oh, I did see that.
Wow.
The battle. And they got the dope artwork, and they were even able, we didn't bring this up, but to get Dream to upload the demo version of Holy Grail.
Did he do it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because Kodak has been posting the what you call this, right?
Huh?
Because they're just randomly posting them.
So I'm following Elliot Wilson, Rap Radar.
Oh yeah.
Double XL, right? I think is who he was.
Mm-hmm.
So he reposts everything that has to do anything to do with the culture. It seems like so. But he's been posting that the playlists they go up, and I recently had re-upped on my Tidal subscription for the J Electronica better sound quality.
Yeah,
and
still sounds like shit.
Oh no, it sounds fire. I mean, I get what you're saying. Yeah, just louder.
Asshole.
Joe just wants to give me that title.
I don't know, man. You guys are going play for play.
Bar for bar.
Y'all trying to make the all-star asshole list?
Right. Anyway. Pulling up for them logo today, huh?
You're hitting today.
Yeah. That's a rare occasion right there.
Joe, you were saying?
So
Partynextdoor.
Last episode we talked about the Weeknd's album and comparing it to Partynextdoor. We were gonna wait for Party's album to drop. It did. So where does Party's album stand?
Before we do that, we gotta give Miki his flowers.
Thank you.
Because Miki called it, and I was said, because Miki said, "What do you?" He said, "What if the Weeknd has got a whole nother project in his back pocket, waiting
in the tuck,
waiting for Party to drop his project, and as soon as he's gonna do it." And I was just like, "Nah," and we were all like, "Nah, I don't think that's gonna happen."
To be fair, when you said project, I'm thinking a whole other full album, 15 songs.
True.
But what did he give us, like 5 bonus tracks or something like that?
I think it was like 6 or 7, something like that. But
that's an album these days.
That's still a lot. So
it's still a lot.
And to be fair, one's an SNL recording, 3 are a remix, and then there's like an extra.
They're remixes of the original tracks that he has on the album.
To your point,
he put it out after Party put it out, and literally like hours after Party put his album out. Yeah. So Miki was right on that. Yeah. I was like, get that man his flowers and everything. But yes, Partynextdoor's album. What'd you think?
I'm not the biggest Party fan, but it was a cool listen. Like it's some that you can, if I smoke weed, I imagine I'd do that to it, or if just chilling.
Let's find out.
Vibing.
It's a good time to find out.
You ain't got nothing but time on your hands.
If I'm gonna smoke, Sam got to be around too.
Oh yeah, we pulling up. Listen.
Yo, the fact that you're
not that I'm inviting
this, we're winning.
I'm just saying, if it were to go down, what you want?
Listen, you can't have more than 10 people in the home, right? 10 people. If you said, I'm going to smoke Saturday this weekend,
we're pulling up.
10 people pulling up.
And we're recording
I don't
a
want
pod.
10 people in my home
Hey,
right now.
listen here. 10 people pulling up.
Are you guys bringing your own snacks?
Yes.
You ain't go raid my fridge?
We would. I would gladly bring snacks for you to see that.
We got a wide open basketball court. We'll come here. I'll take away the no smoking rule for the day if we get to smoke out with Joe.
So just bro, just don't smoke without me being there.
I'd be able to make that exception.
Miki, what you think about?
We need to set up an Eventbrite if Joe ever smokes. Like it's gonna be a thing.
Come on, we gonna make a contract and make him sign it.
No cameras allowed.
No.
No, we ain't gonna do that.
Like it never happened.
We just need to witness that for ourselves. Yeah. Anyways, Miki, what'd you think of the album?
I hope I'm a shit talker.
I think it's a solid album. I don't think it's he's not shooting a defended 3-point shot. He's just doing the layup and just kind of knowing what's in his kind of pocket and what his people want to listen to. Similar to maybe the Weeknd's approach on his album. But I think as far as like quality or content, maybe not quality is the word, but content wise, I think for the sake of the comparisons, I would probably be listening to Party's album more than the Weeknd's over and over to kind of catch everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Along with that lovely outro record. Yeah, I think it was good. I think it was a solid album. I know you're a Party.
I'm a Party fan.
Person. Yeah, so
I'm a Party fan. I enjoyed the album. The album was safe. He went the safe route.
Yep.
It sounded like Party. I enjoyed Party, so I enjoyed the album. I didn't think he was reaching for anything. I didn't, just kind of piggybacking off what Mike said. I don't, you know what I mean? It wasn't like he tried to make a left turn and see, let me throw this curveball at them and see if they fuck with it or not. So it was cool. I enjoyed it. I thought it was dope. I agree with you. I would probably listen to this a little bit more, just a little bit more now than the Weeknd's album. But with them extra tracks on the Weeknd's album, I gotta say, man, I'm listening to them extra tracks, man.
You know what though? When I listen to the Party album, it's like, and you guys and even Joe Budden have hit the Weeknd with "It All Sounds the Same." I think Partynextdoor album more all sounds the same than the Weeknd's. If I break the Weeknd's album down, it's more diverse. There's R&B shit, there's the 80s stuff, and to me it's just a more because the producers are different. There's like 3 or 4 main producers on it. To me, they all had different styles, but they fit what works for the Weeknd.
Yeah.
Not every song had that 80s bass sound or that 80s bass line. You know what I mean? Like there was like the first 2 or 3 or whatever, 3 or 4 may have that, but then it switches into some more chill, mellow R&B. Then he gets into Heartless, and then I forgot where it goes after that. But when I listen to the Parties album, it's just, to me, it's the same thing for whatever many tracks.
I disagree with you. I mean, I get what you're saying. I would disagree. I agree with you saying that there's diversity in the Weeknd's album, but if you really listen to the Parties album, he has ballads, he has Afrobeat, reggae sounding tracks, he has your normal trap sounding lo-fi, R&B ish type track. So there's diversity there in his album. So I mean, I get what you're saying, and I respect your opinion and whatnot. But I personally would just disagree. I think there's diversity in both of them. It may not, because you enjoy the Weeknd sound. Would you feel like your opinion is biased because you enjoy the Weeknd sound?
No, I just feel like, and this is probably to your guys' point on being safe, I've been hearing a lot of the same Party stuff for years. So it doesn't, like the Weeknd will continue to use different beats and different styles. And granted, it's the same voice. Like, yeah, I've been hearing the Weeknd's voice since whatever, 2009 or 10, whatever it was. And after the first 3-4 albums, like, all right, I'm not burned out by it, but it just doesn't impress me as much. So I'm a little like, I'm not wowed by the Weeknd's voice anymore. But because he continues to, in my mind, to switch it up and tries different things, all within what he's capable of doing, I think that's why I feel the way I do about the Weeknd stuff. But when I hear, like, I haven't heard really too much, and maybe it's just Party's voice that just, I don't know. There's not much changing in there. It's very, everything about it is Afrobeat to me. Even when he's on the R&B stuff, I still hear like Afrobeat in his texture. I don't know.
That's just him being from Canada.
Yeah, and that's fine. So maybe that's not fair, but still, I just think as a whole, there's more diversity to what the Weeknd's doing and what he's been doing.
Joes, what's your preferred lighting during sex?
His preferred what?
Preferred lighting.
I like it.
Lighting?
Like a little dimmer action, some candles, black lights, up light. I don't know.
No, candles is, I mean, I work with, I got my room, but candles are great. I like to see the shadows. I think when you're dealing with a woman that has curves, the candle light or the low lights, accents the curves, gives it a different look. Like, I don't like it to be completely dark. I want to see what's going on. I've been having sex with Sam for years, and I love the way how she looks. So I still want to see all that when I'm having sex with her. So, but I don't need it bright like in this room.
Right.
I'd rather it not be bright.
Some shadows.
Yeah. I like the shadow work.
All right. I feel like if you listen to the albums in different lighting, it'll change. Where did you listen to the album?
I was in my studio.
There's some nice lighting in there.
Yeah. It's dark in the studio, yeah.
But it wasn't, but all the lights were on though. So it's not like it was like a dim setting. But no, I get it. And again, it comes down to preference. Some people, not to get into this, but you grew up loving Jay-Z and you think he's one of the best rappers. I grew up not a fan of Jay-Z. All those albums I didn't care for. And even when he put out Big Pimpin', I was like,
whoa.
He said all of that.
Whoa.
Even when he put out Big Pimpin', I was like, yo, this like,
I mean, Big Pimpin' was just
quote unquote his
jiggy
like
shit.
sellout.
Jiggy shit.
Yeah. Jiggy, yeah, they call it jiggy.
The jiggy shit.
And,
come on, man. But Big Pimpin' had
like
Pimp C on it.
At that time, and again, I grew up in LA, so I was really into the West Coast sound. But purists like me listen to that jiggy shit and we're like, come on, man. Like, you know what I mean? So we, that wasn't my style.
Yeah, I mean, I can respect that. I can respect your opinion. I can't respect you saying all them albums, because all of them.
My head was in a different space.
Hey man, listen. Your head.
I'm not saying they sucked. I didn't care for them, but I was a big fan of Nas's first album.
So you didn't like Reasonable Doubt?
I didn't care for it.
But you liked Illmatic?
I loved Illmatic. And I loved all the Gangstar albums. Like, I wasn't just a West Coast head.
No, I know you're a huge
Yeah.
hip hop. You're a huge like Primo and all those guys, whatever. All those cats from New York, Boston, that whole East Coast area. So
Yeah,
I get it.
I loved a lot of the East Coast stuff, but I was
Common.
definitely a West Coast head. And for
Yeah, I know.
whatever
You're a
reason,
huge Ice Cube fan.
Yeah, huge Ice Cube fan. But I wasn't even the biggest Tupac fan. In fact, I didn't care for Tupac because it was played so much throughout my high school and junior high. Like it was overdone to where I didn't need to buy the All Eyes on Me album because everyone was playing it.
You're the type of person to just go for the underdog, the quote unquote underdog, huh? You like to go against the grain.
Yeah, that's Joe in a nutshell.
That's me.
This is what it is.
But I'm also like I get it. Tupac's hot. Especially when he died, everyone was listening to his stuff more. It's like, come on, man, like change that shit. I don't want to hear. Like, I get it.
So
you're a fan. I get it.
So is it more? I really didn't enjoy that specific artist's music, or is because everybody else likes their shit? I don't want to.
So the whole Jay-Z thing, I just didn't have an interest in it. It wasn't that everyone was playing it.
Yeah.
That really wasn't the thing in my high school. There was like a shift in cats that were dressing like Ben Davis and Dickies. The following semester were wearing FUBU. It's like, what happened? So there was definitely a shift in my high school with the whole Jiggy era. But
Fatty Girl happened.
Yeah. But yeah, I enjoy Tupac. I just didn't need to hear it as much as I did. DMX was also a big thing because he was so big. And the irony of it all is they were comparing him to Tupac at the time. And I didn't listen to him because of that comparison. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I don't want to hear this shit because you guys are making these outrageous claims. Now, I'm in high school, so I act like I know it all, but I don't know shit. So I'm going to be, emotional about things and just write them off as what I think they are.
Yeah.
But, I can look back and say, yeah, all Jay-Z shit was dope.
Well, and your OGs play a role in like what you, like, Joe had a huge influence in my musical taste for a minute. And then, I started listening to Nelly and I got, sunned off, but, but he put me on to the Cube and to the, more importantly, things like Immortal Technique I didn't like know of until he did. And he told me about it and shit like that. So it's like, I think that also kind of plays a role, like where you're at and who they're listening to.
You're surrounded by.
Yeah, I had 3 older brothers and they all listened to different things. Like one brother listened to Mambo Kings, Violent Femmes, and all the golden era hip hop. Then another brother listened to Metallica and all those 80s, like Oingo Boingo and again, Violent Femmes. Some of them crossed over with each other's taste. And then the other brother listened to Stone Temple Pilots and fucking Bush and all that alternative stuff that was coming up with Nirvana. So I got, a wide, and obviously the parents listen to oldies. So I got a wide range of stuff to listen to coming up. So I already knew what I liked going into high school. I remember when Ja Rule became a thing and I was telling people, like I used to play music for our basketball games when I wasn't playing, like if I was injured or something, like because I broke my arm. And people were like, yo, play that new Ja Rule. I'm like, bro, you don't get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Yo, they hated your playlist, huh?
Yep. Well, I mean, I didn't hear anything about it. I'm playing Make It Rain or Let It Rain by fucking West Side Connection. I'm playing shit like that. What's the scenario? Scenario by Tribe. But and it's like, yo, you're acting tough with all this other music that's like hardcore, and then now you're requesting Ashanti and Ja Rule. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
They can't like both.
Game. No, we're not playing love songs at a basketball game. I'm trying to get people turned up here. Get the fuck out of here.
Come on, man. He sound like Manny Fresh. We're not playing here. We're not here to play R&B shit, man.
We ain't playing R&B here. Shit.
Oh, man.
But you were playing Ja Rule in high school?
I wasn't.
College?
Where?
When he was DJing, yeah, maybe.
No, I was playing 50. Remember I had you download all the original 50 mixtapes?
50 dropped my senior year. You were gone.
No, 50's Get Rich or Die Trying dropped your senior year. I was listening to the mixtapes before.
Came out like early 2000s.
I was a
like
big
2000.
50 fan because of those mixtapes, and you were the one that had downloaded them for me.
Yeah, I was the bootleg king in high school.
Yeah. But yeah, I was never into Ja Rule until I became a DJ, and it's like, all right, like I'm kind of open.
Got no choice.
Yeah, like now I look back on it, it's like, like it's fine. It's just that moment in time I just didn't care for. It's not what was on my palate.
Noted.
I still remember getting past a CD that just had 5-0 on it. And it was like math class at Polytech High School in Sun Valley, where we both graduated from. And just throwing that CD into that yellow Walkman or whatever the fuck they're called. And that fucking album changed life. Man, for sure.
See, I wasn't even the biggest fan of that album because I was so big on his other shit, on his previous
Makes
stuff.
sense. Grimier.
And didn't one or two of those songs from that album, wasn't it on mixtapes previously?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's usually how I started.
Many Men, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Many Men. And that was probably the toughest record. That was the last song you'd play before you got to go to a layup line.
But the 50 Bars track?
Oh.
Bro, I wish I had a clean version for that.
Man.
I would have been playing.
I don't know. I was a big Lloyd Banks fan. So I mean, just genuinely, period. Lloyd Banks was
running that karma back and forth, huh?
You couldn't tell me. Nah, I'm talking about mixtape shit.
I know.
Yeah. I'm talking about mixtape shit. Hey, but don't get me wrong, I was listening to that shit too, man. Listen, I was pulling bitches, so I was like, you got to listen to the R&B shit.
Oh my god.
Anyways,
so all right, we all got our. Well, at least I have a different take on Partynextdoor from you guys, but
it's fine. We're here.
Did you enjoy the Weeknd's
We're not here to agree with each other.
Tracks,
I only heard. Actually, I just remembered driving up. So when I was sitting in the car while you got here, I was making the notes for the show while listening to it.
Yeah.
I thought they were cool. And the guy that was working at the Fuss Spot or wherever he had noodles is like, girls love the Weeknd.
Oh yeah.
This dude can't miss. Like, you may not be interested in some of the shit he puts out, and that's fair, especially when you hold him to a high level.
Yeah.
But the dude is golden, everything he does. And didn't he just, not that numbers matter, but didn't he just break a record for most streams on an album, like in its first week?
Probably.
Something like that.
Highly anticipated. That's going to happen.
Yeah, highly anticipated. But yeah, no, he's...
Yeah, I really enjoyed the remix of Blinding Lights and After Hours. I thought those remixes were dope.
I haven't gone there. I haven't gotten to those yet.
Nah, he's winning.
Yeah.
I'll
give him that. He moved up a little bit in my on this project for me because of those extra songs. Yeah. And because he waited to party to put his shit out and then released it.
He's Partynextdoor?
Yo, man.
Partynextdoor.
What did you screenshot send to us that what you call it was like, all right.
Y'all gotta
fight at this point. Y'all gotta fight at this point.
That was great.
Yeah, that's great. Well, shit, you got another long pod out of us.
Yeah.
Didn't even feel that long.
But before we get out of here, make sure you check out our Globalization mixes.
Yes, sir.
Catch them live on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Tomorrow night, yes. Shout
out to Presto.
Yeah, Presto won, man.
I don't need to say any more about him. Yeah. You should know.
Presto
Incredible
won.
Cuts.
Yes.
DJ Rell, of course.
DJ Rell. Nice follow-up on the same mix. And so tomorrow we got E-Rock and myself.
Actually, we have me and Thugly.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Miki and Thugly.
Jumping ahead of the curve right now.
Well, there's the teaser for you, for our listeners, for our real listeners that know what's going on.
I'll hear the hour 40 mark or whatever.
I have E-Rock on my mind because I just texted him today like, yo, send me, make sure you send this, and this.
Right, bye.
But yeah, Thugly. That's right. Thugly, incredibly talented trap producers. Incredibly talented DJs.
Oh, that track list looks fire.
Yeah, no, man, our mixes that we've been getting from these guests, they're smooth, man. They're fucking dope.
They're killing
definitely different, but they fit what Globalization wants.
Yeah, baby.
And it kind of fits our MikiDz brand too.
Yeah.
For sure.
Party Station.
Yep. Be on the lookout for those. And if you don't catch those live, go to our Mixcloud, MikiDz Show. Shout out to Rell. Keeps it updated. The day after the mix airs, Rell posted on the Mixcloud.
Yep.
Screenshot that. Give us love. Tell your friends. And
cool. I think that's it.
Stay safe.
Yes, sir.
Stay clean.
Yep. Wash your hands.
Yep. Go get that free money. All right. So we're going to jump back into
bonus footage.
We're going to jump back into episode 40 because Miki really wanted to talk about this because I put in the notes and he's very
It's
curious.
in the notes, and I don't want, as a friend and as someone who I care about their opinion so much,
you got to hear.
Don't want to go
because I'm not going to talk about it unless it's on the pod.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's going to have to wait another week.
And here's the thing. He called me Sassy, or the Sassy one. And I didn't disagree, number one.
But you wanted more about...
But I needed some dialogue because I don't... Like, if you know, like when a girl tells you, oh, we need to talk or whatever, and you respect their opinion, you're like, all right, let's just get this out of the way. Yeah, call me. Like, let's get this out of the way.
Let's talk.
But me and Joe typically speak more on the pod than we do outside sometimes.
That's true.
And so when he mentioned this comment, I was like, okay, fair.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it on the pod. So here we are. I need to know more.
So Miki got into it, but Miki had an exchange with another DJ. And it was all, I knew it wouldn't go too far because we were in the DJcity chat. So I knew.
Company chat room.
In the company chat. So I knew it wasn't going to get out of hand because no one's stupid. Both parties aren't stupid. So Miki started an exchange with the DJ and I knew exactly where it's going because I know my man like nobody else. And I'm thinking, man, I am glad I am not on the opposite side of this because I've been through this more times than warranted. And I know exactly what's going to happen. He's just going to get a bunch of sassiness from Miki. So Miki, to me, is a very sassy individual because when there is an exchange, whether it's for play or it gets serious, he's going to say some smart shit to you. Now, it's up to you where you want to take this smart shit. You can get serious with it, or you can just continue to exchange with him and just have a little ping pong match with him and see where it goes. Again, I knew it wasn't going to get serious, but Miki wasn't going to stop being sassy on this exchange. And then I told him later on, you're number one in the sassy category.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much
that's pretty vague. So let me give Rell some
You can't
dialogue.
go into detail, that's why.
Well, no, I can give you a little bit without saying much, right? So the reason, okay, I initiated the play. Yeah. Right, it was my fault for the conversation. I was asking for it.
Just say what happened, and we can get into our thoughts on that city later on in a different pod when everything's back to normal.
Yeah, I mean, there's enough going on in that city, but there's just someone from a different coast that put up a clip of their IG live, and they were playing songs, and they didn't blend. So I made a comment that if there was any blending.
Well, let me ask you: was this DJ attempting to blend and was it executed properly, or just wasn't doing any blend?
That's the style of play.
Gotcha.
If you will, and there's nothing wrong with it. Everything works differently. And as a matter of fact, I think he might have been the person that tweeted that slamming records on IG Live doesn't hit the same. I think it was his tweet.
Okay.
And then I retweeted that and said, it's a good time to be a West Coast DJ. And that was probably my most...
Because West Coast DJs blend
songs. Yeah. And I think that was the most activity I've ever gotten on a tweet ever, as far as retweets and likes and things like that. It got some real traction. Yeah. And so then, I'm always double down because people, number one, this person used our commentary on our pod, or I'm sorry,
on his
shared pod.
On his DJcity mix.
On his podcast mix. He used our reference and someone else's reference. And so he's used our voices before. And so he's someone who I can I'll poke further into that conversation.
At the end of the day, he started it.
I thought Miki said he started it.
No. He started by putting us on his mix.
Right.
Oh.
He initiated the...
I need to listen to this.
Because I'll be honest, and I say this respectfully, I didn't know who he was until I heard the mix.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that he had affiliation to the team. Yeah. So, and I again, don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I just wasn't aware.
Yeah.
And then I saw him in the chat room, and we're all having there's exchanges going on. Everything's pretty much friendly. It is company chat room. And then I saw he put up a clip of the IG Live. It just happened to be a moment where, it went from one song to another. Things weren't blended, and he said something on the mic, and I was like, "Oh, it looks." The whole point was to show how the IG Live looked, and so I chose that moment to quote that video clip, and I said, "Was there any blending in the rest of the live?"
Yeah.
that's where. And then I put asking for a friend, which that could have also been the reason why things went further. Of course, then at that point, I'm asking for some sort of interaction.
And you got that interaction.
Well, I got the LOLs and the laughs from a couple other people in the chat, which was cool. And I'm just trying to keep things uplifting, if you will, like lighthearted is the better word. Yeah. And so we got that. And then, of course, that's when he came at me, and his response was, and we won't dive deep into this because it's going to be part of our conversation later, but his rebuttal to my ability to blend being better or whatever was a subliminal of like, oh, I would know if Miki was good at blending if he was booked in New York, but he isn't. I just said New York. You
did. It's okay. I was going to let you go. It's fine.
I mean, it was kind of obvious.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, he's like, I would know if Miki's a good DJ, basically, if if he's good at blending or whatever, if he was booked in New York, but he isn't.
Does this DJ get booked in LA?
Yeah. No, not that I know of.
No. Rebuttal right there.
But he kind of also threw in there that, and this is where things get a little tricky. And maybe it's just a teaser to our future. Go ahead, sorry. So this is probably just going to end up being a teaser into another episode.
Yeah.
But then the rebuttal there was, or my rebuttal to that was, I'm not interested in playing 4 hours. And then he corrected me 6 hours and a couple others.
No, you said 4 hours for X amount.
For X amount of money.
And I said, nah, it's more. I said, nah, they're better than us because they spend for 6 hours.
Right. Oh, because of the length of their sets.
Yeah, the length of their sets.
That's why they're better DJs than us. Yeah. And then, but I just got, I got into the whole, like, I'm not interested in traveling across the country for X amount of money to play 4 hours. And that's where everybody was like, oh, it's 6 hours. And
everyone chimed in on a joke.
Everybody chimed in on the joke. And then there's, the guy that like, oh, I still do that just to click with the homies. And then his response was, yeah, same. I don't want to play. I'm not interested in playing in LA for $250, which at that point, and I can elaborate my point here, and I think you understood it, but it was like, my response was, sorry, we play different caliber of spots.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
asshole. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Shit, maybe we should give it to Miki.
Oh, that's not really a trombone moment.
But that's to my point of being sassy. Miki will put himself in that situation to go to play little ping pong with you, and if you now Mark, he was handling it well.
Who?
He wasn't the DJ.
The other DJ,
like he didn't sound upset.
Oh, so after that.
Right. He whatever his exchange was with you, he was just trying to be equally sassy because he knew this is a company chat.
He didn't throw a low blow, but
so
he
just so people know, like it was play.
But he gut checked me. If we want to, let's get into boxing terms. He threw a little gut check to see if I'm willing to fight back when he said
the New York
that I'm not getting booked in New York.
Yeah.
And then my jab back, if you will, is just like, well, I'm not interested in your rates. And then when he tried to say that our rates in LA are the same, well, they're not.
They're not.
They're not.
Because where I'm playing and where you're getting offered are two different things.
And I know Avenue in New York is paying different than Avenue in LA.
Yes.
And that's what I said. I said, yo, DJs get paid pretty good at Avenue in LA, considering like they can be stingy if they wanted to.
Yeah.
They pay pretty good considering.
Well, and call me sassy if you want, but I have a monthly residency there.
Yeah.
Had.
Nobody got residencies now.
Past tense.
Had. But I had a monthly residency there, and I'm playing 2 hours and probably getting paid. Let's just not throw numbers, but
definitely getting paid more.
But if you want to get multiplication involved, there's a 2 to 2.5 times more, right? Situation. So half the work, double the pay.
Yeah.
And so that's where
work smarter, not harder.
Yes, we're firm believer. This entire pod crew. Yeah. So that's where my sass came out, if you will, to say, look, like what you're getting offered over here is different than what I do. And maybe I don't have any offers out there because I'm not interested in entertaining anything. Like I'll do the legwork to see what that looks like and if it makes sense for me. But at the moment, there isn't anything or opportunities that align with what my goals or strategies are. And that's where I thought, this is what I thought you meant for the sake of us being on the same page. I thought when I brought up, and this was my response, was I'm not interested in going across the country. Like I'm not in a position where I have to go across the country for that kind of money for the look. Yeah. Like I'm not interested in that. And because I do other things outside of DJing. And then that's where it turned into like a quote unquote dick measuring contest. And I was just like, nah, like that's not my goal about what I was trying to say. It's just.
Well, it seems like the mentality, and I wanted to comment based on observational reasons, not to, because I didn't care to go back and forth with it. I know how these convos go. Yeah. Especially with New Yorkers. And I think
they're passionate people.
I think with a lot of these, from my experience with New York DJs, is like you ain't shit unless you've spun there or you spin there, and that's what he was alluding to, and because he said, "How come you don't DJ here?" Like as if this is the grand finale to being,
the holy Mecca.
Yeah, the holy Mecca. So, and my thing is, and I'm thinking, and then he said, "Well, how come why don't you spin here? A lot of guys spin in AC." And then they come here.
They double dip.
And,
like
and that's fine.
Else.
And I spin in AC. I was, when we had clubs, gigs, I was doing there.
Past tense.
And I was doing Boston. So if I really, really wanted to, I could have reached out to someone in New York and said, hey, give me a spot. I don't care. I want to spin New York. And I'm thinking about this while you guys are going back and forth. And I'm like, I just don't care to spin in New York.
See, now we're getting to that topic.
I just don't care to spin in New York. Like for him to say that to me or not to you and say you ain't shit unless you spin here, which is not what he said word for word, but that's what it sounded like.
Or it could be taken.
And what I wanted to respond with before we got told to calm it down.
That's a real thing, by the way. Yeah. Daily.
What I want to say is, look, man, a lot of West Coast DJs don't care to spin in New York, believe it or not. Like we're happy with what we get in LA. We're happy with what we get in Vegas and San Diego and the surrounding cities. Yeah. And I mean, I'm happy with just going out to Boston, getting that bag and coming right back. I don't need to do anything else. Like I'm good unless there's like a dare involved or a shrine, or something of that caliber. But I also want to say, without naming names, one of the bigger names in our DJ community right now, if he goes to New York, he'll do one Oak or one of those spots. I don't remember which one, but one of those spots, and he'll get a couple 100 to 300, but he's only doing it because he's in New York and he ain't got shit else to do.
Right.
And he's going to get in that venue because of his connections and his name that he created for himself. Yeah. It's not really fair to say, how come you don't DJ here? We're like, well, shit, maybe if I knew somebody that, if I really wanted to, yeah, but there's more to it than just saying you ain't DJing here.
Yeah, and this is all obviously hypothetical because of the situation we're in and how things will play in the future, but based on historically how things operate and how businesses is ran in New York, if you go to the neighboring popular cities, like things are drastically different. Yeah. When you mention AC, Boston, even Providence, like different places, like the rates change dramatically. Yeah. And I think we all look, again, everybody has different goals, right? Like a lot of DJs that, do this day in and day out, like, Randy said it the best, if your financial circumstances put you where you need to take every gig or whatever, it's going to look different than the guy who's trying to grow his brand and make sure that he's doing the right spots. This goes back to all of that shit. Like, and that's why sometimes it's hard to have a conversation or a rebuttal or like a friendly exchange when, my priorities, and I say, and again, like if this comes off sassy, it's fact. It's just a fact. Like I have 19 other human beings that I have to worry about back home. Yeah. That's my priority. That's just my different thing. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't even know that that I'm the owner of a business, and I can't lose sight of those things, because then who am I to those people and my responsibilities? Yeah. Like I'm in debt to that, right? And so, yeah, on the DJ side, if I have to take lumps on the ego or whatever, or sass back, like, fuck it. Like, I don't care. Like, that means nothing to me, because that's not, feeding me the way that something else might. So I think it was a fun conversation. I'm good with I'm glad it's just that, because it felt like a lot worse because you said some other shit. Or maybe there's more, but
no. I'm just saying that you are number one in the sassy category, and you love getting sassy with people, and so, yeah, but
sassy's a great word, but but it's accurate. I'd say it's better.
It's spicy, sassy. I think it's all spicy's like the newer way of saying it, but no, it's all the same.
It's not being an asshole.
No, there wasn't. Well, yeah, there was some asshole in that, because he just.
We're gonna get into that too. But.
When you were talking about, I don't. You said I don't need to do those gigs, or I don't need to go out there.
Well, I don't need to go over there for the look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm really not trying to break it down like that, but.
Yeah, I know.
But.
I mean, look, it could be its own episode at the end of the day, because it's one of those conversations where, like, I'm at the point in my life, and I think where we are in our lives, where we're able to have conversations that we couldn't have before. You know what I mean? Like, with each other in a manner where we're honest and transparent, and it doesn't affect us, because we know who we are and what we're about, and that's part of the maturity of our relationship, on and off the microphones. And I think that's what's given us the power and the ability to just look. I'm not afraid of any conversations. Like, I've had conversations with people that wanted to put me in jail. I've had conversations with people that wanted to, quote unquote, cash me outside. Like, we've gone through it all. And I think it's that point where it's like, look, if you want to have a healthy conversation to why you and I are different and why we look at things differently, like, I'm all for it. But don't get offended when I come at you with why my mentality is different than yours, or my approach to my career is different than yours. We could be in the same category, but we're not shooting for the same hoop. We're not shooting for the same league. Like, I'm out here, I'm trying to do what I think is good for me in the long run. I'm not here for the short term.
Mike's like, I'm trying to pull up from the logo. I ain't taking no free throws.
And another thing, and we can end it after this. In all fairness, I know, like, downtown LA doesn't pay very well. And that's probably what he thinks, or some DJs think, because of the downtown LA rate can suck really bad. I
mean, most of LA sucks because they're only going to offer you an hour gig. Yeah. Because they don't trust you to go, even though you can do your 6 hours. Like, you may not know the vintage and adventurous. You might not know the shorties. You might not know and that, let's just go, that's hip hop side, right? Or maybe his perspective when he brought up a reference where he was like, oh, where LA has us is luxury Latin nights. Well, shit, I can tell you right now, based on all the Latin nights I know, there's only one that pays more than $500 in town. Yeah. And I won't say where, but you can tell based on the climate of LA. Again, this is pre-pandemic.
Past tense.
Yeah, past tense. Paid. But it maybe that's where he sees, or that's the people he has access to and the people he's talked to. But the problem with you getting the pay that we might have set ourselves up for is that we're here, this is our home. We know how the place operates. We've been to this club a couple times. And at the end of the day, what we may be able to offer on the other side of it, right? Because we're not all gig swapping DJs. And sometimes some people that get in the position for that couple $100 coming this way, they're usually trading some services or connecting you at least. Like, what are you offering in New York, respectfully, that's going to make somebody from out here be like, oh yeah, I'm going to go all the way over there and lose a day of travel, invest my time into that night, and then hopefully get another gig somewhere while I'm out there.
And the thing is, you take these bookings, like you would take something like let's say the highest booking you can take in New York, or one of the highest bookings. Like, I knew a guy that was doing that monthly headlining for a few $100s, and I imagine in hopes to get bigger bookings, more bookings. I got this on my resume, you know, one of the most popular cities in the country, one of the most popular clubs in the country. I should be spinning everywhere because of this on my resume. And it didn't work out that way for him. So now what am I really doing it for? You know, and that's a roll of the dice. That's not guaranteed. I've done situations where I get shit out of it, and I've done situations where I get a residency at it, or I get booked somewhere else because I was seen booked there. Yep. But you know, it's not a bulletproof situation. If you can spin there, it doesn't mean you can spin everywhere.
No,
you know?
not at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Just be. Well, now I know why I'm sassy, and I'm fine with that. I'll take it. Spicy. That might be the title of this episode.
Spicy Miki.
Sassy
Miki.
Sassy Miki.
Yeah.
I'm not calling no grown man spicy.
All right, we out.
On that note.